Ready to go, you know? You can't go to battle without being prepared, right? You gotta be prepared in season, not a season. So, hopefully you were prepared for this heat. All right, guys. Well, I'm excited for today. Yeah, it's definitely been a great service. Lex, thank you so much for your communion message. And Malik as well. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All the song leaders, great job. Thank you for singing and leading us into a procession of singing. So thank you, thank you. I don't know if you guys saw, but the Santiago's had a performance yesterday. You know, it's like, what is that? You know, what was the song? Ice, you know. Yeah, and you see Angel trying to keep his pants off, like it's falling off. Not the pants, but the lighter. I mean, what? The glow stick. Glow stick. I was like, kind of grab it in. I was like, and then you see Johnson coming in. I was like, oh, that's the announcement. I was like, oh, great job. It's pretty creative. So, congratulations, Santiago's, for your next baby girl. We don't know that? Well, the Lord knows. You know, I'm putting my bets on the baby girl. And now, if you ask me, I can put my bets on the name too. But nobody asked me. You know, so I'll keep it to myself, I guess. Jimena? I asked Delma, what about Jimena? She's like, nah. You know, Nicole, Jimena, nah. You know, I don't know if it's going to be our girl or not, but I'll push my agenda, I guess. We're very grateful. You know, you can't say this church can't grow. We're going to grow one way or another. You know what I'm saying? We're going to grow one way or another. You know, we have all the married couples who are, you know, eventually will grow. We'll get married. And, you know, eventually they will grow. And, you know, Jericho has 12 brothers. Or something. 14?
14 siblings.
12 siblings. You definitely are Jericho. You know what I'm saying? Like 12, the 12 will be Israel, so one for each tribe. Alright, you chose them. You can't get angry at your decisions, buddy. Then, very grateful for the singles to go to Door County. They had a great time. It was an adventure from what I heard. You know, it had drama as well. Drama and people, you know, of all ages and
Total Drama Island?
Total Drama. No, not that. I don't know about that. So I'm grateful that everybody came back in one piece. Thank you so much, Wyatt and Candace, for putting it together. I'm sure it was a blast. All right. Title of the lesson today: The Value of a Soul. The value of a soul. You know, everything in this world has a price, so that means it has a value, right? You know, people usually ask, well, how much was your house? Right, Chantal?
$2.
How much was your car payment? How much your car was worth? You can ask those people who are buying cars, they'll tell you. How much money do you have? Right?
Yes.
How much does your career cost? Right? How much you're in debt for your career?
Gosh.
You know, the world leaves to push themselves to measure up, to, you know, keep up with the Johnsons and all that. You know, more money, more possessions, more accomplishment, more status, more degree, more success, as if that will, you know, make the road to heaven a little wider. Fortunately, it doesn't work like that. And so again, we ask ourselves, what's the value of this? Like, what's the value of food these days? How much does it cost? You know, $100 2 years ago may give you a car full. Now you get a banana, a cutie, and you know what I'm saying? And so maybe some chicken and the pizza, mayonnaise, and that's it. Okay? So stuff goes up in value. Some things drop in value. You know, for those who buy cars, as soon as you drive it out of the lot, it drops $1,000 in value.
Oh, at least.
Depreciation. Okay.
least.
At least. You can, you know, Elisha used to work in a dealership, so he knows all about that.
I know all about it.
You know, the TCF Pink Star Diamond is worth $71.2 million. That's the most valuable diamond ever sold. Okay, the diamond. Sorry, AJ, you're not getting that diamond. You know, so 7.2 billion for a rock. Okay, that's what it literally is, a rock. Over time, it became into this precious diamond, right?
Yeah.
Now, the most expensive, the most valuable residency here in the world is called Antilia. It's in Mumbai, India, and this is a skyscraper that is a house to a family. Okay, yeah. So they have a whole building for their family. Okay, this was worth between 2 billion and 4.6 billion. Most expensive house ever.
Yeah.
In Mumbai, India.
Crazy.
You know, oftentimes, you know, again, we ask this question: how much is this? How much is that? Or even little questions like, well, how many followers do you have? How many likes do you have? How many views do you have? But Jesus asked a different type of question. How much is your soul?
Wow.
Do you understand the value of your soul? You know, we humans have a pretty messed up view of what value is. Not all of us, but for the most part. You know, we consider a rock more valuable than a soul. We consider brick, cement, metal more valuable than someone's life. And I'm not saying that it's not important to have a house and stuff like that, but, you know, compared to a soul versus the Mumbai residency, you know, how many people do have to die so you can have a value of that, right? That's the idea. Like, how we see value is pretty upside down in our society today. We value material things over people.
Wow.
And so, but Jesus didn't. I'm grateful that Jesus didn't care about the materials, he cared about the souls. Our first point here, our souls is worth more than this world. Point number one, our soul is worth more than this world. Go to Matthew chapter 16. So the first point is understanding how valuable you are as an individual. We're going to go to Matthew 16.
Take us there, brethren.
Let's go, bro.
Verse 24. You know, this teaching comes after Peter gets the rebuke of his life. He gets called Satan.
Yep.
He gets Satan. Jesus says, "Get behind me, Satan. You only have in mind the things of man, not the things of God."
Wow.
And so then he goes to and he proceeds and challenges him in this way. In verse 24, he says, "Then Jesus said to his disciples," but you know that was for Peter too as well. Okay. Says, "If anyone will come after me, he must deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. For whoever wants to save his life will lose it. But whoever loses his life for me will find it. What good is it? What good would it be for man if he gains the whole world, yet he for his what? His soul.
That's
Or what can a man give in exchange for his soul? Question mark. Jesus is questioning, how much can you give in exchange for your soul? Nothing. We shouldn't give up anything. We shouldn't exchange our soul, period.
right.
Okay?
Real, bro.
And so here, you know, again, the question is, how much is your soul worth? Well,
Wow.
what's the value of your soul? Jesus says, more than this world.
Right.
Your soul is more precious to me than anything in the world.
Right.
You know, you can gain everything. You can have the status quo money, the house, you can even own a TCF diamond, or you can even live in this luxurious residence in Mumbai, India. You can have the degree, you can have all the luxury, everything you ever wanted. You can have the man and the woman, the looks, the shoes, the bling bling. You can have the followers, you can have be part of the TikTok stuff. You know, you can be part of the elite group of people.
Yeah.
You can have all of that. But if you trade your soul, that was a pretty bad decision for you. It was a horrible business transaction. You walked out losing more than you ever had.
Wow.
Horrible trade. Imagine, you know, a guy comes in with a Lamborghini. He pulls up. He looks at one of the kiddos and says, hey, I'll trade you the lollipop for this Lamborghini.
Yes.
The kid says, oh, sure, here's my lollipop. You would have thought, oh, that guy's crazy. How is he exchanging something so much that has more value for a lollipop? You may feel like, well, you're crazy. We may think he's stupid.
Right.
But people are not exchanging their souls for a Lamborghini. They're exchanging it for 5 seconds of pleasure. Okay? And so again, we exchange our soul. We treat our soul like if it was the value of a lollipop. Sometimes. You know, Satan is going to try to buy your soul daily.
Oh.
He promises you, like he promised Jesus, you can have everything you want. Look at the world. You can have it. You can just bow down to me. In other words, just give me your soul, Jesus, and you can have power, glory. You know, Satan was offering Jesus something he already had.
Oh.
But that didn't stop him from offering it.
Yeah.
Right? He still offered him to tempt him. And Jesus says, no, I will not bow down to you.
Right.
Again, Satan is trying to buy you out.
Come on, bro.
Everything you ever wanted. What does he get? One thing. He can give you everything. And he only wants one thing. Your soul. Why does Satan want your soul?
Right, good question.
Why does he go the extra mile to try to buy your
Good
soul?
question.
Why is he always lurking? Why is he always thinking about how to take somebody's soul? Why is he even trying to take your attention from this today?
That's it.
Come on, bro.
Why? Because your soul is eternal.
Wow.
Your soul is eternal, and everything in this world is temporary. That's the reason why. You know, very eloquently last week, Paige shared this from Matthew 6:14. He says, don't store for yourself treasures in this earth that moth and thieves break in and steal it. But rather store for yourselves treasures in heaven, where no thief, no moth, no ants, no squirrels can take this from you.
Right.
You know, God knows the value of your soul. That's good to know. But also Satan knows the value of your soul. You know, sometimes, guys, it seems like only God and Satan knows the value of our soul. And we don't.
Wow.
And we don't. Satan knows it, and he goes to battle for it. That's how important your soul is to Satan. Do you understand the value of your soul? You know, any sounds like everything outside this world, the spiritual realm, understands this. That one soul means a lot. And they're willing to fight for that soul.
Right.
Why? Eternity. Eternity. It is the only thing that you possess right now that is eternal. Everything else that you have right now will die out. Will stay here in this world, but your soul either goes to heaven or to hell.
Right.
But it's eternal. So it does matter where our souls go. Do you value your soul? And I'm going to keep asking you, because I want you to really think about if you really value your soul.
Come on, bro.
And I want you to ask yourself, what is Satan trying to give you in exchange for your soul today? Not yesterday. Or maybe he's just carrying it over where like he's asking you to give it up for the same thing that he offered yesterday. You know, for me, it's not the temptation of having possessions, and at least at this time. or the bigger house, a bigger car, more dogs. None of that stuff is working right now.
Wow.
But you know what he's going after? My family, yeah, but something deeper to me is apathy.
Wow.
Like, you know what? You don't have to care about the church. They're pretty abusive anyways. You don't have to care about their salvation. They don't even care about it themselves. Why do you care so much? And so Satan is going after he wants me to exchange my soul for not caring. Oftentimes, as a leader, there's a lot of pressure. And I signed up for this. I said I do. Okay? And so, but me being real here, sometimes all I crave is loneliness. I just want to get away and not care. And so Satan is right there saying, yeah, you know what? You don't have to care. You know what? You don't have to challenge somebody on their sin. Or you know what? They'll be all right on their own.
Wow.
And so sometimes the temptation is to exchange my soul for letting people go to hell.
Wow.
It's their choice anyways. And sometimes these voice gets louder and louder.
Yeah, come on, bro.
And sometimes I have to rebuke that voice with a louder voice.
Yeah. Come on.
It doesn't have to be material possessions. It could be stuff like that. Wanting to be alone, not caring, or even just self-pleasure. It doesn't have to be riches. But what is it that Satan wants to exchange for your soul?
Right.
Oftentimes he dangles it in front of us.
Yeah.
Okay? Have you ever seen those funny videos where like somebody attaches a $5 bill and then people see it and they're like, oh. Then they look around like, and then slowly they're like, get down on, and they try to grab it and then the guy pulls it back and they're like,
Oh,
oh.
yeah.
And here's the thing. You would have thought as a person like, oh, somebody's playing me a trick because there's no way this dollar bill is going to move. But they still chase it. They wait a little bit, it stays there, and then they go up there again. And they try to do it again, and somebody pulls it again. You know what I'm saying? And you're like, dude, what are you doing? It's a trick. But that $5 bill means something else.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And so again, Satan is trying to trick us to believe that you need that. And he's trying to like, oh, here, you want a car? You can have it. You just, come here. And slowly he's pulling you into the mouth of the lion where like he can grab you. He's luring you in. And so what happens is we get distracted of how much we do have for the one that he's dragging along. The one that he's putting, the one thing that he's dangling around you. What is it? Maybe it's just bitterness. That he's giving it to you like here and there. Or what is it? Love or pleasure? You got to figure out what is it that Satan is trying to exchange for your soul.
Right.
In 1 Peter, we have a quick reminder here.
Come on, bro. Take us there, bro.
In 1 Peter, chapter 2.
Come on, brethren.
1 Peter chapter 2, verse 11. And it says, Dear friends, I urge you as aliens and strangers in this world to abstain from sinful desires which war against your soul. There's two reminders here. First of all, he says, look, you're an alien in this world. Let me remind you that you're in pilgrimage. Wow. Let me remind you you're passing by. You in this world, but you're not of the world.
Wow.
Let me remind you that the people looks at us and they say, that's a stranger. Because we don't live like the world.
Yeah.
And so he's reminded, look, you're not from this world. Oftentimes, the ones that have the harder time to say no to the sinful desires is the ones that believe that they are of this world. That this is home.
Wow.
We're passing by.
Wow.
We're here today, tomorrow, we don't know.
Right.
And oftentimes we think this is our home.
Yeah, come on, bro.
And so what do? We fight to stay in it. We fight to conquer. We fight to get everything we could ever get because this is our home.
Wow.
And God's like, no, this is not your home.
Right.
Wait until you see home. Our goal is heaven.
Come on.
That's our destination.
Yep.
This is just the desert. This is the challenging part. This is not the promised land. Heaven is what has been promised to us, that we can be with God. Home is where God is.
Bring it on, Victor.
It's not the bricks. It's not the building. It's where God is.
Come on,
So,
bro.
you know, we have this with our family, and we tell our kids, look, we can move to a different house, we can go to a different state, but we take home with us.
Yeah.
We don't take the bricks. We don't take none of this stuff. But home is where we are.
That's tough. Come on, bro.
You know, oftentimes we forget that this is home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And God doesn't want us to forget.
Yeah.
But He also reminds us there's a war for your soul.
Right.
Everything that's going on, there's a war for your soul. And here's the thing, God is fighting for it, and He goes the extra mile, but also Satan's fighting for your soul.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy to hear that Satan's fighting for your soul? We always hear God is fighting for my soul, but also Satan wants your soul.
That's tough.
And so the idea is that you got to understand that there's a battle for your soul, so what are you going to do about it?
Wow.
Are you just going to sit down and take it? Or are you going to do something about it?
Fight.
Because your soul is the only thing that you take with you wherever you go after you die. And if that is not something that you consider valuable, I don't know what else you will consider valuable. Your soul is the most important thing that you possess.
Wow.
It's not your ring, it's not your possessions, it's your soul. So I want to put before you today, brothers and sisters, for you to go to battle for your soul. If the whole spiritual realm is fighting for it, the question is, are you fighting for your soul?
Right.
Oftentimes, we show up, but we know we already lost our fight in our mind.
Yeah.
We come to service, but we can already be hardened by life, and we just show up because that's what we do.
Right.
Again, coming to the meetings of body doesn't mean that you're fighting for your soul.
That's tough.
You just feel like, I have to, what else do I have to do?
Say it again.
You know what I'm saying? And so again, I appreciate you're here, but the question is, are you in the battle for your soul?
Wow.
And if you're not, what are you doing? What are you fighting for? To be recognized in this world that will itself pass away? Now, I'm not saying that whatever we have is not valuable. It has value for here. Okay? But again, we have something precious, and that's our soul. Again, do you understand the value of your soul?
Wow.
Intellectually, you may understand it. But do you act like your soul is valuable? Or does somebody have to remind you how valuable you are? The challenge from this passage is to really understand yourself, ask yourself, what is the value of my soul? And what is Satan trying to give me in exchange for the one precious thing that I do carry with me?
Wow.
Point number 2, created in His image. You know, we know our soul is valuable because it's eternal, but the only reason why our soul is valuable is because we are created in His image. We are created in His image. In Genesis chapter 1, verse 27, it says, God created man in His image.
Come on, bro.
In Ephesians 2, let's go there.
Go, Victor. Come on, Victor. This is fire. Come on, Victor.
Ephesians 2, verse 8.
Let's go, bro.
Come on, brethren.
Ephesians 2 verse 8 says, For it is by grace you have been saved. Pages are flipping.
Come on, Victor.
For it is by grace that you have been saved through faith, and this is not from yourselves, it is a gift of God. Not by works, so that no one can boast. For we are God's workmanship, created in Christ Jesus to do good works, which God prepared in advance for us to do.
Wow.
You know, Genesis and Ephesians reminds us that we carry ourselves the very fingerprint of God. You know, have you ever seen those cars that have you people drive them, or a bus or whatever? They have a logo, right? The Planet Fitness car. Have you seen them? But it's all purple and it has a big thumb, right? They carry the image of who? Planet Fitness, right? You go to the bus and, you know, Milwaukee Public Works or whatever. You see all their, you know, big, you know, Adidas, right? Or you carry that identity of whoever you're being, you know,
Red Bull cars.
the brand. And so here's the thing. What identity are you carrying?
Great question.
Who are you promoting? Your life is a billboard.
Wow. That's tough.
And people see your life. They see it for the worst or the best. And so God is saying, look, you got to remind you that you were created in my image. You are a billboard for me. Wherever you go, you carry the image of God. That means that your friends, your brothers and sisters, whoever is sitting next to you right now, the people that you like, the people that you dislike, those who are mean to you, those who loved you, the homeless to the billionaires, all the people in this world carry the image of God.
Yeah.
And oftentimes, instead of seeing the image of God, what do we see? The sin.
Wow.
We see the sin. You know, we value people and respect them because they were created by God. That's it. You know, oftentimes we just want an excuse, we just want a reason to respect people. Here it is. They carry God's image. That's it. That's all you need.
Tough.
They may not act like sometimes like humans, but we still respect them because God created them.
Right.
We still respect them and love them because they still got created by God. You know, how many of us, oftentimes when we make a mistake and we feel like our value drops? Man, I screwed up. God doesn't even want to look at me. People don't want to look at me. I'm worth nothing. Right? And we all been there where we self-sabotage our value and we forget that we were created in His image. Not because we were going to be perfect, simply that He wanted to create you in His image.
Right.
How many times people make a mistake and in your mind, their value just dropped? Now, we don't say that, right? Because that sounds very horrible. But we start treating them like their value is right there.
Wow.
We ghost people. We don't respond. We start praying for them. Why? Because they're acting like sinners. Oh, that means they're acting like you.
Yeah.
You
Crazy.
know what I'm saying?
Uh-oh.
Wow.
And oftentimes we're like, yeah, you're not gonna be my friend anymore. Why?
That's a stat.
Just because? You know, we look at people and we value them based on their behavior.
Wow.
Now, if we look at the world, it's pretty bad behavior up there. Does that mean we stop talking about God?
No.
You know, appreciate what Lex says here. Jesus says, "Hey, I know you screwed up. Maybe your value is pretty low, right?" No, He says, "Let us go. Here comes my betrayer." He still pulled them in. Their value did not drop in the eyes of God because of how they behave, and they fall asleep on the God. How do you fall asleep on God?
That's crazy.
I'm not Jesus, but don't fall asleep on the sermon.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Come on, bro.
And so, but yet He says, "Come follow me. Let's go. We got this. I'm going to die, but let's go together."
Wow.
You know, Jesus saw the soul before He saw the mistakes.
Wow. That's tough.
Jesus saw His image before He saw your mistakes. You know, think of Zacchaeus and Matthew, the tax collectors. The whole nation hated the tax collectors. Prostitutes, right? He hated them. The nation hated them. And yet, when Zacchaeus comes in, climbs a sycamore tree, and Jesus says, "Hey, I'm going to dine with you today." And people are like, "Why is He doing this? I thought He was the Messiah." That's why He's doing that.
Right.
Because the sick are the ones who need a doctor, not the healthy.
Right.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
When He saw Matthew working on his tax collecting booth, probably people will curse him out as they saw him collecting money. Jesus says, "I want him." He saw the value of the soul. He saw a future in them. You know, He saw value in Peter even though he denied Him 3 times. Now, He didn't ignore the denial. Okay, it's not like it didn't hurt him. But instead, what He does? Restores him, and then He says, "Feed my lamb."
Yeah.
He calls him higher. You know, and I believe that was a turning point for Peter. Because he went and just cranks it. He's like, he opens the door for the Jews,
Yeah.
and then He opens the doors for the Gentiles. He became a great leader. Why? Jesus saw the soul before He saw the denial.
Yeah.
In John chapter 4, we're going to see an example of Jesus valuing the soul before their behavior. John 4.
bro.
Come on, brethren.
John 4. You guys know the story about the Samaritan woman.
Yep.
You know, Jesus is tired from the journey. He sits by the well, and then he says, "Can you give me some water?" Now, he was thirsty. You know, he shows that he was human too. And obviously, this is a big no-no in this culture. She's a woman, and on top of that, she's a Samaritan woman. Okay, talking to a man, and he's a Jew. So she's being hostile towards Jesus. He says, "Give me some water." And pretty much in her words, she says like, "Why? Why am I supposed to do that? You're a Jew. I'm a Samaritan. You remember that? We don't like each other. You Jews and we Samaritans." And Jesus just chill, calm, collected. He's loving up on her. Okay. He offers his water to her. And then he challenged her on her immorality.
Wow.
It's like, "Oh, by the way, I love you. I gave you the honey before the medicine, but here it is." Right? He challenged her, and she's like, "Woo! You know everything about. I see that you know much things.
Yeah.
That you know a lot of things. You must be the Messiah." And we're gonna pick it up in verse 20. Oops, not 20. Verse 28. Verse 28. It says, Then leaving her jar, the woman went back to the town and said to the people, "Come see a man who told me everything I ever did." She's fired up there. She got exposed. You're like, "He told me everything, all the negative, all the bad. Let me tell you about it." When's the last time you were happy to be exposed to the light? Oh, we're gonna have a confession session for music. People tend to not to show up. Why are you trying to avoid being exposed to Jesus? She's like, "Let me tell you, right? Come and see the man who told me everything I ever did. Could this be the Christ?" They came out of the town and made their way towards him. Meanwhile, his disciples urged him, "Rabbi, eat something." But he said to them, "I have food to eat that you know nothing about."
Right.
Jump over to verse 39. So the woman gets all the town. You know, she's going around telling people. In verse 39, many of the Samaritans from the town believe in him because of the woman's testimony. He told me everything I ever did. So that when the Samaritan came to him, they urged him to stay with them, and he stayed 2 days.
Wow.
And because of his word, many more became believers. They said to the woman, "We no longer believe you just because you said it. We now have heard for ourselves, and we know that this man really is the Savior of the world."
Wow.
That's significant.
That's a power testimony for them going to like, "We don't like Jews," to like, "This Jew is the Savior of the world."
That's crazy.
This is kind of like your worst enemy. This is the worst thing that could ever happen to a Samaritan. A Jew being God.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
They could have why? A Jew, they don't like us, God. And you show yourself like a Jew.
Right.
Come on.
That's powerful.
And so here you have a situation where like Jesus saw the soul before he saw the behavior.
Yeah.
Now, he didn't ignore the behavior. He challenged the behavior.
Right.
But he also saw the image of God in this woman. In the eyes of the culture, this woman had little to no value, unfortunately, at this time. But Jesus saw the value of the soul. One single soul, guys,
Yeah.
changed his whole town.
Right.
The whole town.
Whoa.
One soul that had no value in the eyes of the world
Right.
had value in the eyes of God, and in return, she had an eternal impact.
Wow.
Never underestimate the power of sharing your faith. Even if people are hostile towards you. You know, the goal is to win them over. And sometimes it takes a little while. This valuable soul had an eternal impact. The question is, will we have an eternal impact?
Wow.
Have you thought about an eternal impact?
Yeah.
Or have you been caught up in the behavior of the world? When you see people, what do you see? Do you see their potential? Or is the sin bigger than their potential?
Wow.
You know, one of the things, guys, that I'm super grateful, and you know, that God chose me for this for this situation. We had God chose me to share my faith with a brother by the name of Jesse Robles. We had a ministry in Morton College where there were only ladies. My wife was part of that, and other sisters, but there's no guys. And so I get hired by the church, and Jay says, "Hey, this is going to be your new home: breakfast, lunch, and dinner, buddy." And that's what I did. I camped out on the campus ministry. That was breakfast, lunch, and dinner for me. I became the religious guy that everybody knew where he was. I had a green hoodie from Hollister. Back in the day, you had a Hollister. You were like, the preppy guy. Yeah.
Okay, you were cool.
That was cool. I wore the Hollister green sweater until it fell apart. Well, Barb says, "Hey, Victor, you gotta let that go." And so one of those days when we had no visitors, me and another brother and I went to share faith, and then I saw a guy playing his violin, and I went and shared my faith, and I invited him to church and invited him to Bible talk. He studied the Bible. Later on, became a disciple. A few years later, he went on the mission team with us to New York, with the Shelbras and us to New York and everybody else. And unfortunately for us humans, he's passed away in his sleep due to an asthma attack.
Wow.
But the night before, he was studying the Bible with the guy. He was challenging him on his understanding the value of his soul. Like,
wow.
Dude, he was challenging the guy. Look, you couldn't wait. You're not guaranteed to wake up tomorrow. You need to understand this. Okay? And so he's the one who passed away the next day. Now, the reason why I'm not grateful, I know where he's at in heaven. So I know that God, for whatever reason, took him. I know that that's between him and God.
Yeah.
But I'm grateful I got a chance to share my faith with him because I know I impacted eternity.
Yeah.
That he is there waiting for us one day. We'll get to get reunited again.
Come on, bro.
We all have the opportunity to take with us the most precious things we have with this world, which is souls. Don't ever underestimate the value of a soul.
Wow.
And maybe you don't want to talk about God. You feel like, why? What's the point? Because there's people who want to go to heaven.
Wow.
Sometimes it takes harder to get to them. But don't stop sharing your faith. Maybe you feel like, what faith do I have to share if I have no faith? Well, at least be real with them. Look, I'm inviting you to church. I'm struggling myself, but you got to come and check it out. You can be real with people. People appreciate you being real. People don't appreciate religiosity, hypocrisy. They appreciate, you know what, I'm struggling right now, but this is me repenting. Let's go to church.
Yeah.
Come on.
Talk about it.
Let's go, bro.
We all want to have an impact in this world. We want to have an impact not just in this world, but for eternity. One of the things that we have to understand, guys, why Satan hates humanity is because we remind him of God.
Wow. That's tough.
We carry the image of God. So what do you think he sees? He sees the enemy. He sees God kicked me out of heaven, and I'm angry, and I'm upset, and I'm here to kill, destroy, and I'm going to go after the God, everything that God loves. And you remind me of God, and I'm going to get to you. Andrew, you remind me of God, I'm going to come after you. Keon, you remind me of God. Delma, you remind me of God. Everybody here reminds him of God, so therefore he hates us.
Wow.
That's your enemy.
Right.
Come on, bro.
You carry the image of God that reminds him that he got kicked out of heaven.
Wow.
Because of his pride.
Wow.
He's not looking for who did it. He's looking for somebody to pay for it.
Wow.
And that's you and me. This is why he fights for your soul. This is why God fights for your soul. Because someone else wants it. This is why he came to die on the cross for your soul, my soul. Because there is another God, another enemy who wants your soul.
Right.
The question is, are we fighting for our soul? We need to have some turning points. And hopefully the sermon it is. That you value what you have. We need to stop looking at the city of Milwaukee as the city of festivals.
Wow.
And man, we appreciate festivals. We need to stop looking at Milwaukee as a diverse city. The culture and everything. We need to start looking at Milwaukee as a valuable city full of souls.
Wow.
Oftentimes we promote the culture, we promote this, but we don't promote soul saving.
Wow.
I'm not saying to ignore everything that Milwaukee has going on for this city, but we need to see the city as hurting full of souls who are valuable to God.
Wow.
We have the answers. Well, they don't want it. Well, that's not your choice for you to make.
Wow, that's tough.
Stop making the choice for people.
Right.
Satan and his demons drool over the food they can have for eternity. That's a powerful image. That Satan is salivating, is drooling over your soul. He's perverse. He wants it.
Wow.
And he's going to do whatever he needs to do.
Right.
It's like a dog looking at a piece of meat.
Yeah.
He's locked in. You need to lock into God.
Wow.
Don't sell yourself cheap. Don't. I won't let it. I will challenge every, as long as I can preach and God gives me lungs and the wisdom to preach, and as long as He keeps me in leadership, I will preach for you to value your soul.
Wow.
And I hope that you do the same thing with me. Hopefully you ask me, hey, how's the apathy temptation going? I know I'm not the only one struggling with apathy. I'm not the only one being dry or being persuaded to exchange your soul. I want to put before you a challenge to share your faith with the soul.
Yep.
Not with the culture, not with the skin color, but with the soul. It is tough. It's a tough journey. But if God is with us, who can be for us?
Right.
We can change. We may not be able to change the world, but we can change somebody's world. And I believe that because all of us have a testimony. Somebody shared their faith with you and they changed your world.
Wow.
We may not be able to change everything that's going on with wars and everything, but we can affect the people that is in here in this city.
Yeah.
God can create a way. We just got to be ready to value His souls, and to God be the glory.
Come on. Fire.